How you guys doing? As promised, I told you guys I was going to get out and give you guys a fishing report on Table Rock Lake. Managed to get out and fish this afternoon with the girlfriend. We ended up getting out on the lake at about 12:30, and then it ended up putting in at Ants Creek, and we ended up fishing a little bit up into the James. Today was really sunny. We had some bluebird skies out there on Table Rock Lake. Yesterday was the first day where it really warmed up down here since we had our cold snap throughout last week. Most of the boat ramps right now are wide open, I believe, and you can probably put it anywhere you want on the lake after today. What we ended up doing today was getting out, just kind of chasing the wind and chasing the sun, and mainly concentrating on main lake and secondary points. Just working our way down the lake, just trying to see if we could put together a pattern. And actually, we ended up catching quite a few fish on an Alabama rig. So primarily what we did the whole day was I threw an Alabama rig because I was up front running the trolling motor. And then my girlfriend, she ended up throwing a jig most of the day behind me, a little jewel peewee jig. And most of the time what would happen was I'd catch a few fish up there on a point, or say like a little channel bank. And wherever I could get bit on the Alabama rig, also she was able to get bit throwing the little jig behind me, just working along the bottom. We ended up catching about 17 fish today, and ended up getting 4 keepers. And she actually caught the biggest one of the day, throwing a little jewel peewee jig and just dragging along the bottom towards the end of the day. Now, what I was doing with the Alabama rig that seemed to be getting a little bit more bites today was I was taking my rig and throwing it out there, holding the rod at about 1 o'clock. And as I was reeling it just as slow as I could turn the reel handle, I would sometimes just kind of lower that rod and then bring it back up to 1 o'clock just to kind of give that bait a little pulsing action. And I had a lot of fish actually hit me when I was doing that. But mainly just keeping the Alabama rig kind of down more towards the bottom, just fishing it really slow, seemed to produce the most bites. And I was just throwing it on 20-pound fluorocarbon, nothing special. The rod that I use to throw this Alabama rig, it's just a 7/4 heavy from Cast King. I'm just spooling up with their 20-pound fluorocarbon line. On the actual Alabama rig itself, what I've been doing is I've been throwing this color here. It's got I think they call this Pro Blue with the red tint in the underside. You can pretty much find this color anywhere. It's a popular swim bait color for Alabama rigs. And just using these 1/8 ounce heads on the rig. And the rig I'm throwing is a Flash Mob Junior, just Young Flash Mob Junior. This one seems to work the best day in and day out from what I can seem to gather down here. Been working pretty good. The only other swim bait that I've been using on this Alabama rig and catching some fish on it is one of these Cabela's smoky ghost colored. They call this a swim minnow, and this is in the 3.5 inch. This has been working pretty good. I don't know if you can see that color there, but it's silver with a little gray back to it, and it's got a little bit of purple flake in it. Anything with a little bit of purple flake seems to work pretty good down here at Table Rock. So they've been hitting this. As far as the jig goes, just throwing a small little jewel peewee jig, putting a little rage bug on there, a little baby rage bug. And she was just throwing this on a little spinning rod here from Cast King, this Peregree 2 medium action spinning rod with just 8-pound Cast King covert fluorocarbon, just dragging it as slow as she could drag it on the bottom. And that produced a couple good fish, and actually the biggest fish of the day off a spot that initially I kind of found throwing an Alabama rig. So the water that we were fishing today had a little bit of stain to it, and the temperature ranged anywhere from, say, like 42 to like 44 degrees. I don't think the water temperature mattered a whole lot. I think, especially with this week that we've got ahead of us down here at Table Rock, where it's going to be warming up, we're going to be in the 60s all week. I think a lot of fish are going to be going a lot shallower this week. I'm already catching some fish pretty stinking shallow, so I think by the end of the week, you're going to see a lot of big fish start showing up, in places like they're getting ready to spawn, because it's about ready to happen down here. But yeah, I'll let you guys see the pictures from today, and make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel if you want to get more Table Rock Lake fishing reports. Also, if you're interested in supporting the channel, just getting ready to get some more hoodies in, some more Breaking Bass hoodies. Just let me know if you're interested what size you would like, and I'll try to get that in on the next batch that we got coming out here. Until next time, guys, good fishing, and we'll catch you guys soon.